Good, welcome you guys back to my channel, Nene Blobs. Today I'm making my December wrap up where I'm going to tell you everything I read in the month of December. I read a total of 12 books, which is the most I've ever read in a month. I am so happy with the amount that I read. By doing this, I could complete 51 books in the year of 2017. So I really loved this month. It was sometimes very stressful, but I really enjoyed all the books that I read this month, and I'm really excited to show you guys what I read. So let's just get into the video. So let me start with the 8 books that made up most of my month. They are the Anne of Green Gables series by L.M. Montgomery, which is made up of 8 books. Let me try listing the names of them. It is Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, Anne of the Island, Anne of Wendy Poplars, Anne of House of Dreams, Anne of Ingleside, Rainbow Valley, and Rilla of Ingleside. I think those are all the names. This month I was really busy with all of those books. I literally fell in love with the story of Anne. From the first book I was hooked. If you guys don't know what the story is about, it's about this orphan called Anne, and she is adopted by these two older brother and sister. So the brother and sister, they live together and they want to get help on the farm so that work is less for them, and they were expecting a boy, but here comes Anne, who brings about a whole new life for them. She is just such a, I feel like, ray of sunshine most of the time, and she sees the world in such beauty, and she feels every single emotion so vividly, and the book just describes her feelings so much. All of the books in the series are so good. I literally loved all of them. It was fun to learn about so many people in the community, and Anne is such a lovely person and outgoing person, and very extroverted kind of. She loves so many people and she meets so many people during her life, and these 8 books literally follow her from she's a child, from the age I think of 12 or 10 or 12, until she's like a mother, and it's just such an amazing journey of her life, and I just loved it so much. If you guys don't get it from my explanation, I gave this series 5 out of 5 stars. Each and every book made me fall in love with it even more. Each book I give 5 out of 5 stars, if not more. I literally recommend the series so much. If you guys want to just fall in love with a character and her personality and her whole neighborhood, I don't know, it felt like I was watching a series or reading a series of this girl and her life, and it's just a series that never stops, until the 8th book, which is so sad because I just want to read more of her life, and I want to learn more about her family, even though in the books we learn a lot about her family. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling because I think I'm gonna make a separate video on the series. Final thoughts on it: I loved it. I recommend it so much. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. You should really read it. So before and during reading the series, I read 4 other books. The first book that I actually read in a month was The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. I have mixed feelings on this because I was expecting just one story, but it ended up not being what I thought it was. It's actually a mixture of short stories, and the first story is the one that I think everyone grows up knowing about. It follows the character Mowgli as he grows up with wolves, and it's his story about. And that story in this book was the funnest for me, even though it wasn't really, it was a lot in animals' perspectives, but it was really fun for me because I watched the movies when I was younger, and it was just fun to read it. But then later came more short stories, let me quickly see, Rikki Tikki Tavi, Tumai of the Elephants, Her Majesty's Servants, and many more, and I didn't enjoy them as much. I think I liked the Rikki Tikki Tavi also, but the rest were a bit boring, and well, not boring, I just didn't get into it that much. So I really liked the first story, but the rest kind of fell down a bit. So I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. Then I reread Passenger and read Wayfarer. Previously I think I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I stick with it. Even though I actually enjoyed it, I think more than the first time for some reason. I think because I knew what was happening, and I don't know, it was actually better than the first time. And then Wayfarer, which is the second book of the duology, I read and I actually also really enjoyed it. I think I might like this more than the first one, just because a lot more happened in this book and it was much more fast paced actually. The first book kind of like went a bit slow for me, but this book actually went more faster and a lot happened. Like, it was so much fun. Also because there were different perspectives. I think it kind of went better in the second book, but the whole duology together was so much fun to read. I loved being in that world. And I would love to see more of the characters. It's about this violinist called Etta Spencer, or Henrietta Spencer, and she finds out she can time travel, but she is kind of thrown into the world without her knowing that she can actually time travel, and she's being accused of knowing where something is hidden that her mom hid, but she has no idea what it is. She has never known about time travel, so everything's new to her. So the first book is just her finding her way in this world that she had no idea about. And like I said, it was such a fun, adventurous story. I did find it a bit slow at times, but the second book kind of makes up for that because it's much more faster. So the duology together, I think I give 4 out of 5 stars. This one I still give 4 out of 5 stars, and I think I might give this a bit more than 4 stars, but I can't decide how much. So just know I liked this a bit more than the first one. And then the last book that I'm going to show you guys is When Hitler Stole Pink Rabbit by Judith Kerr. This follows a 9-year-old girl during the Second World War, but her father is a writer and their family gets away from Germany before the war starts. But it's her journey on living somewhere else. Like, I think she first goes to Switzerland, and then it's her journey on how she kind of has to adapt to the environment around her and also grows up a bit. But it's her as I think a 9-year-old, and she's so young, and it's all her thoughts, and I just find it really cute and adorable, and also just fun to read. I don't know, it was a fast read. Like, if you guys see, it's very fast. It's only 230 pages about, and it's just so much fun. She also travels a lot, and it's just her point of view on the different places that she goes to. There are bits and pieces of the Second World War, but it's not heavily on it, but you do see some points of it, but mostly it's just how they are like trying to survive outside Germany and also trying to adapt to the circumstances they have been put in. I think I give this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I recommend it. I also think Judith Kerr put a touch of what she went through in her story, and I think she does that in every Second World War book she writes. So I found that really interesting and I recommend it. So that is all that I read in the month of December. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment down below what you guys read in December and what you guys are planning to read in January. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I try making videos once a week. Okay, so see you guys next time. Love!